Praetorians may not actually be your best option in the level 143 Forsaken mission target. Hey everyone, Derpy here, and as you can see, the 143 deals explosive and penetrative damage and is fairly weak to explosive damage, but I'm going to be trying my Zealots in this target. Full disclosure, I did get this idea to a commenter on my YouTube channel, but as we can see, the Zealots are actually not dying instantly in this target, and they're actually doing a fairly good job here. Now, as I said, this works primarily because the Zealot has about 200 million armor points compared to about the 45 million armor points that the Praetorian actually has. And my Praetorian fleet isn't bad, and it's taking about 2 hours damage in this target, maybe a little bit less if I start driving it well. The lowest consistent time I've seen is about an hour 20, an hour 10 minutes. But this fleet right here, as you can see, it's not completely dead. This fleet is very, very weak to explosive damage, but this target in particular deals the vast majority of its damage in penetrative form. When I was using my Praetorians in here and I drove well, the majority of the damage I took was penetrative, and the Zealot is really, really good at resisting penetrative damage, and it's decent at resisting explosive damage because it has so many armor points. You'll see that I take pretty much all the explosive damage in this target, but I actually have very few of it actually coming at my ships because they're so fast they can outrun the majority of the damage. All the little splash stuff you see in this target, it's all hitting behind me. I don't have any splash damage reduction on this fleet, which could help, and I also have very little turret defense here, but if you had more turret defense and more splash damage reduction, maybe even you refit an armor or two to go explosive, this might work better. I wouldn't actually recommend anyone go ahead and do that, because it's possible Kixeye changes these targets so that no one can bring any of these fleets in here, although I actually doubt that they'll do that. I don't think they would target lock these specific targets. This is my second hit against this thing. My first hit, I did use no crew and got 2.5 hours damage. The second hit is about 2 hours damage with the Molotov maintenance crew. Some other different crews that buff building damage might also help more. You'll notice that I try and keep my Devout Zealot Frenzy active all the time, because that helps my ships be faster, which is really good at outrunning explosive damage. I can pretty much ignore all the penetrative damage because I know I'm going to get very little of it. You can see when I am up to max Frenzy stacks, I'm pretty much killing these turrets in a shot or two. Definitely less damage than my Praetorians because these things are not optimized for a 100% mostly building damage, and they deal corrosive damage, which these buildings resist a little bit better than they resist the explosive damage. Now, using this fleet sort of reminds me how fun Battle Pirates used to be when we could take a wide variety of ships into a wide variety of targets, have sort of a generalist Swiss Army knife fleet that does pretty much everything, and I sort of wish we had that back again, and I think that would make the game more fun. Let me know in the comments what you think about that idea of being able to use a variety of fleets in a target with some amount of success. Now, obviously, if you have a full X1 Praetorian fleet and a U0 or even a U3 Zealot fleet, which is about what I have, you're going to have better luck with the Praetorian fleet in general. But this is an option for maybe some low-level players who returned and maybe bought the Zealot fleet, or only have a Zealot fleet and don't have a Praetorian fleet. If people are taking 6 hours damage with their U0 Praetorian fleets, I'm doing better than that with my Zealot fleet, so this is a great option to go ahead and try this target. Try it on this one, maybe consider some of the other ones, but I doubt that because they have a lot more explosive damage. As you can see from the battle report, I took most of the explosive damage, only resisted 2% thanks to turret defense, and I took very little of the incoming penetrative damage, evaded a lot of that, shot down a lot of that. You can also see that the turrets only took about half the damage I was actually dealing and resisted the other half. 2 hours, 10 minutes damage with the same exact build I was using in the raid. No changes made to this target. I wouldn't recommend making any changes to your fleet. I hope this video helped. If it was something new, exciting, if you learned something, if you enjoyed the work I put in this thing, leave a like. And as always, this is Derpy, signing out, helping you be a better pirate.